Today's Yin Yoga session will support the Stage 7 task of healing your scars. This is a lifelong task, and certainly not one that we will accomplish in one day. But what we can accomplish is recognizing when a scar has been activated. Our emotional baggage, our mental and emotional scars can feel very real. And they're activated any time that we encounter a situation that's similar to a situation that hurt us previously or that had bad consequences or negative consequences previously. When this happens, when your emotional baggage is triggered, you're usually going to have a particular sign that tells you this is baggage. First, you will feel fear, even though there is no direct threat right in front of you. Second, you'll have a little bit more of an auditory tell. You're either going to be crying or yelling. Some people cry when baggage is triggered, some people yell. So your question for today is, how can you recognize when some of your emotional baggage, your mental and emotional scars, have been triggered? And what can you do when you recognize that to step back from that situation and take a little distance to get some perspective? That's your question for today.
We'll begin by setting up the breath. Today we're going to try a 3-part breath, where we inhale and feel it through the head and the throat, the chest, and then the belly. So into the head, the chest, then the belly fills. Then we exhale in reverse, the belly in, chest in, and head. And then again, in through the head, chest, belly. Now squeezing the belly out, belly, chest, head. And we can squeeze it down to get out a little bit more. Again, inhale, head, chest, belly, and exhale, belly, chest, head. Let's do a few more of those. Inhale, and exhale. Squeeze the belly. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale, head, chest, belly, and exhale, belly, chest, head. Again. One more. And return to breathing normally. Let's get started. And here we'll go into a half pigeon or a sleeping swan on the right. So we'll bring the right leg up, the left leg back long. Right heel is in the crease of the left hip. And lean down to the ground. Because this is yin, we're going to want to support the chest. You might also like a block under the right hip. That can be helpful, or under the right thigh, or an extra block under the chest. We support the position so that the body feels free to really relax into it. Adjust your props as you need. Let's switch now to the other side. Bring the right leg back, the left leg up, the left heel to the crease of the right hip. Bringing your favorite prop configuration back, leaning forward, and breathe. And slowly push yourself back up. And we'll come back through an easy sit for just a couple of breaths. From here, we'll come into a half frog. From laying flat on the floor, grab a block or a sandbag. We'll start with the left leg so that you can see what I'm doing. And bring the left leg up, resting on that sandbag. Now, if you prefer to not have a prop, you can do that too. The prop will give you a little bit more stretch in this position. So see what works for you today. Looking for a stretch in the inner thigh, an opening of the hip. Switching to the other side. Bring the legs out straight. Move your prop around to the other side if you're using one. And bring the right leg up at a 90-degree angle. Getting that stretch in the inner thigh. Finding your point of comfort, adjusting as needed. Coming up from this one, we'll put our props aside and come back to an easy sit for just a couple of breaths. From here, we will come into knee pile or shoelace. We'll put the left leg on the bottom. The knee is pointing straight forward or even slightly off to the right. We take the right leg and put it over the top. One slightly easier way to get into this is to come up, cross the knees, and then sit down. Now, the shins might be out almost horizontal, or they might be back toward the body a little bit. Find your comfort spot there. And of course, we're going to lean forward, reaching out with the heart. Because the knee is up high, you may or may not need something for this pose, or you might try use of props just to see a different feeling. You might like to sit on a block. If this is too intense in the hips, you can sit on a block or on a sandbag. Reaching forward with the heart. Put your hands down and come up slowly. Switch legs. This time the right leg is on the bottom, the left leg is on top. Sometimes it helps to come up, cross the knees. Now there'll be differences between the left and the right. That is normal. We are organic beings. Reaching forward with the heart. And breathe. Putting your hands underneath you, pushing up slowly, unraveling the legs, putting your props away. Just come into an easy sit for a couple of breaths. From here, we will turn to the side of the mat, using the length of it. Tuck in the left leg. Now, for this pose, you might want a strap, or you might want a resistance band or a TheraBand around the foot, or you may prefer to support with blocks or bolsters on the thigh. Find your most comfortable use of props for this pose, as we will be holding each side for 2.5 minutes. Reach forward with the heart over the toes and breathe. Adjust your props as needed. We'll come up and take this on the other side. Right foot is tucked in, left leg is long. Grab your props or your strap, reaching forward with the heart over the toes. And breathe. Noticing the differences between the right side and the left side. Just noticing. If this is too much on the lower back, you can try sitting on a block for this. Or, of course, you're always welcome to choose a different pose that feels right today. Releasing your strap or your props, coming up slowly, letting your props away, and returning to check back in with an easy sit for a couple of breaths. From here, let's head down to the ground, swing yourself around, and come down, lying flat, legs are long, shoulders tucked under, and arms at the sides. From here, we'll bring the right knee up, maybe out to the side, and we're going to take it over to the left. So grab a block or a bolster and let the right leg come over to the left for a twist. Supporting your twist. Right arm out to the right, left arm out to the left, or perhaps left hand on the knee. Looking to the right for this twist and breathe. Bring the right leg up, coming back to center, both knees up. Take a moment to let the back come to neutral. Extend the right leg long. Bring your props to the other side. We'll bring the left knee up. Hug it in, maybe out to the side. And let it come over to the right. Adjust your props under that knee, whatever's comfortable. Left arm out to the left. Right arm out to the right or right arm on the left knee. And breathe. When you're ready, remove your props and come back. Give your back just a minute to straighten out. And then take the legs long, lying flat, checking in with ourselves for a couple of breaths. Coming now into a bit of a crunch. Hug both the knees in. Just hold them there. You can hug them wide if you'd prefer, or you can hug them closely into each other and into the chest. For support for this one, you could use a strap around the legs, or you can keep the arms there. You can put a block under the hips if that feels good today. Or you can just interlace the fingers on top of the legs and breathe. When you're ready, release the legs. Just put the feet back down for now. Take a moment. And then back down, legs long, maybe arms stretch up. And then the arms come down beside you, nice and long. We'll check in here for a couple of breaths. Coming into Shavasana. Shoulder blades tucked under. You might like a pillow or a bolster under the knees for comfort, or under the head, or nothing at all. Legs can fall to the sides a little bit. Hands can be at your sides or resting on the belly. This is your time to integrate your practice. What you noticed today, what came up for you today. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Remove any props or pillows. Maybe roll the wrists and the ankles. Start to move the arms and the legs. Maybe take the arms up for a stretch. And roll over to one side for a rest. Just a moment while you get your bearings. Extend the top leg out and push up to a seated position. Thank you for joining me today. The love and the light and the teacher in me honors that in you. Namaste.